How's it going, everybody? Today I'm down here on the floor because I want to share with you a quick little rolling exercise that happens to be one of the most scalable things that I've ever taught to anyone. It began as a really quick and efficient way to get athletes from their back to their front so that they're able to get up off the ground and back into the game much quicker. But what I've discovered is because of its efficiency and its movement, it's actually probably the most successful way I've taught people with chronic lower back pain to be able to turn themselves around in a way that doesn't aggravate their pain and injuries any further. So regardless of whether you find yourself in either of these two camps, this is an exercise that I recommend you learn as soon as possible and test yourself on it semi-regularly, every couple months, a minimum once a year, because it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So let's get into it. It's pretty simple. All you have to remember is opposite limbs tend to do the same thing. One side's moving and one side's not. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to start lying down on my back, and I'm going to take one leg and raise it up. So I want to have a little bit of a gap in this leg for the other foot to come through. I'm not tightening it all the way up. And then the opposite arm is going to do pretty much the same thing. So I'm going to bend the arm and I'm going to put it right next to my face. So I've got one leg bent, opposite arm bent, palm of my hand. Let's turn it and point it out. That's just a personal preference thing, but this will make it a little bit easier as we go around. Next, the other two limbs. So the leg and the arm are both going to be moving in opposite directions to each other. I'm going to start with the leg. I'm going to lift it up and I'm going to thread it through the little gap I've created with the first leg. And then my arm is going to reach as far over as I can. So up until this point, I actually haven't done anything with my lower back at all. So it should be nice and stable and comfortable. And what I've also done is I've now given myself a little bit more weight on this side so that I can use a little bit more weight rather than rotation of the spine to get myself around. So from here, I'm going to take this leg, I'm going to give it a little bit of a push into the ground while still reaching on this side until I can get this hand onto the floor. From there, all we're going to do is slowly straighten out the legs and let this hand lower myself as I come down. Okay, so that's the entire movement in total. We'll go through it one more time, nice and quick. So opposite arm and leg bend. I'm going to take these next two limbs, I'm going to thread one foot through, I'm going to reach the other arm over, and again this can now go as fast or as slow as I like to bring myself around to my front. So that's pretty much all it is. It involves very little trunk rotation, and I would recommend if you are currently healthy, you want to build it up so that you can perform that entire movement in about half a second. So give yourself a little countdown timer of 1 second, hit go. You should be able to finish the whole movement before you hear the alarm go to say that you're done.